FC Barcelona entered 2021 in a state of crisis. When Lionel Messi left the club, he took its identity and its primary source of hope with him. The trophies stopped coming, and the atmosphere around Camp Nou grew increasingly desperate. The media environment became a pressure cooker, with fans and journalists searching every youth academy class for a savior. Any teenager with a hint of talent was immediately branded as the next Messi, a label that usually became a burden too heavy to carry. On April 29, 2023, that desperation met a new face. With Barcelona leading 4-0 against Real Betis, head coach Xavi Hernandez called a thin teenager to the sideline. Standing next to seasoned professionals, the boy looked strikingly small. At 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days old, he stepped onto the grass. In that moment, he broke a club record that had stood for over a century, becoming the youngest player to represent Barcelona in the modern era. Yamal's expression was the first sign that something was different. While previous prodigies looked tense under the weight of the stadium lights, this boy was smiling. He played with a casual lightness that suggested the noise of 90,000 people didn't affect him at all. A hidden photograph taken in 2007 eventually revealed that his connection to the club's legacy went back to his infancy. The image shows a 20-year-old Lionel Messi kneeling beside a plastic tub, helping bathe a 6-month-old baby. That baby was Lamine Yamal. Lamine's father kept this photo a secret for 16 years. He intentionally hid it from the public to protect his son from the inevitable comparisons that would have followed him since birth. When the photo finally surfaced in 2024, it sparked an intense media narrative. For the public, it was no longer just a coincidence. It looked like a literal passing of the torch, setting expectations at a level no teenager should have to face. To understand how he resisted being crushed by that narrative, we have to look at the environment that built his immunity to fear. Mataró, 30 kilometers north of Barcelona, is defined by the working-class streets of Rocafunda. This neighborhood, and its 304 postal code, is the starting point for Yamal's disposition. His family faced significant financial hardships after moving from Morocco and Equatorial Guinea. In a moment of struggle with the rent, 2 local men stepped in to help. In a gesture of gratitude, his father named the boy after them, Lamine Yamal. His football education happened on hard concrete, playing against older, stronger kids who didn't care about his age. He was kicked, pushed, and knocked down repeatedly on the rough ground. On those streets, showing fear meant losing your spot in the game. He learned that the only way to keep playing was to laugh off the physical hits and get back on the ball immediately. At age 7, he moved from the streets to La Masia, Barcelona's elite training academy. He arrived for his first session in oversized, borrowed boots because he had forgotten his own. Despite the gear, his talent was undeniable. He played with a joy and an instinct that the coaches realized couldn't be taught in a classroom. Yamal relies on a street-forged mindset that treats football as a game he's already mastered. This disposition effectively neutralizes the weight of professional expectation, turning a high-pressure stadium into just another concrete pitch. His progression was so rapid that he bypassed the youth ranks entirely. At 16, he was called up to lead the Spanish senior national team. He marked his debut against Georgia by scoring a clinical goal, becoming the youngest goalscorer in the history of the Spanish national team. By the Euro 2024 semifinal, the stakes were much higher. Spain faced a French team featuring Kylian Mbappé, a squad that had dominated international football for the previous 6 years. 21 minutes in, with Spain trailing 1-0, Yamal received the ball 25 meters from goal. He was immediately surrounded by French defenders. Without hesitation, he cut inside on his left foot and struck a curling shot that bypassed the defense. The ball hit the inside of the far post and settled into the net. At 16 years and 362 days, he shattered Pelé's 66-year-old record for the youngest player to score in a major international tournament. Scoring a goal of that magnitude against an elite opponent confirmed his ability to perform. The pressure of the world stage was no different than the pressure of the streets. On July 14, 2024, Yamal walked into the Olympic Stadium in Berlin for the Euro final against England. It was exactly 1 day after his 17th birthday. Early in the second half, he beat his defender on the wing and delivered a calculated pass to Nico Williams, who drove the ball home for the opening goal. England equalized on the pitch, turning the match into a grueling physical contest. Spain eventually found the winner in the 86th minute, securing a 2-1 victory and the championship. At 17, Yamal had bypassed years of development to lift the most prestigious trophy in European football. During the celebrations, Yamal looked into the cameras and formed the numbers 3, 0, and 4 with his fingers. It was a direct reference to the postal code of Rocafonda, the neighborhood where he first learned the game. The gesture showed that he hadn't left his origins behind. Instead of allowing the massive world stage to change him, he had brought his home into the spotlight. His success stems from viewing massive opportunities as gifts rather than risks. When a player values the joy of the game over the fear of the outcome, they become difficult to rattle. Lamine Yamal comforted European football because he treated the Olympic Stadium with the same casual confidence he once had on the cracked concrete of Rocafonda. To him, they were exactly the same.